What's up, guys? Today I'm here with my kitty. I just got back and I came home to a present. Now the other day I got a new pair of gloves that were actually severely underweight, around 3.5 ounces each. So I got a new pair. These are basically the same, except for these are 18-ounce gloves, and they're different colors since they didn't have the original maroon that I had. We have the black twins. So, pulling these out, they are significantly bigger than the other ones, so that is a good sign so far. Smells like kind of how if you ever dissected a frog in high school, kind of like that plasticky smell, but I know on the other gloves after a little while that went away and you can smell really, really nice leather smell. So right off the bat, they look awesome. They look really great. You know, the other ones looked really great too. Unfortunately, they just weren't the right weight, and those, well, these are supposed to be my new sparring gloves, so I just really don't want to put anybody's health at risk with these hands not being protected. So just kind of a first reaction. You'll notice that there's an attached thumb, the embossed logo, so it's not really going to rub off, or maybe not so fast. Short fingers, you can see that it doesn't actually curl out to here like other gloves, and it has the Velcro that goes all the way around the wrist, and it's very wide. I really like that. So first impression, just like the other ones, finger compartment is tight, very tight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put wrist wraps on with these, and at least for right now. The thumb feels pretty spacious on the inside. The wrist definitely feels wide. You can see I'm tightening these as much as I can and I still have some space. So not a real big deal. These are supposed to be able to clinch with, so you'll have this natural separating here between the padding, which is also to protect against kicks. Big difference between these and boxing gloves is the boxing gloves really don't need to have padding on the top of the wrist, but you'll notice that is quite a bit of a jump there from no padding to padding, quite a bit. So yeah, I definitely like them. I'm gonna actually hit the bag just a couple of times to break them in, make sure that this finger compartment gets a little bit more opened up so I can wear some wraps in there. But yeah, honestly, I really like them. We're gonna go ahead and weigh them just to make sure. Okay, so here is my food scale that I use to measure like rice and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it on and let it zero out. So it's 0 ounces. We're gonna go ahead and put, again, 18 ounces. We're gonna lay this right on the top of it. And you can see that they're still a bit light. Surprisingly enough, 15.2, still not 16 ounces somehow, even though these are 18-ounce gloves. So let's see how much these are going to weigh. Okay, so 1 pound, 6 ounces. So you can see that there's a little bit of a quality control issue with twins. These are my second pair of gloves where these have been off. And I mean, you can see it pretty clearly there, 1 pound, 0.6 ounces. That's basically just over, because one pound is 16 ounces. So we just have a few ounces over, while this one, 15.2, so 0.8 ounces off from being 16 ounces. So we have, again, a little bit of an issue. As you can see, it's a different number than 18 ounces. Not a big deal. I mean, these are gloves that are handmade, apparently. Let's actually try something else, okay? Okay, so we're gonna try it this way because I might be off. So I'm gonna set this down here and zero this out, so we can have this as our kind of pedestal that we're going to use. So with this on top, make sure this is not touching. Yep, 1 pound, 6 ounces again. And this one here, 15.1. So you can see that it's pretty consistent with what I just weighed. Again, they basically said that the gloves usually will have a little bit of fluctuation between weight, but you can see that this is not 18 ounces. This is 3 ounces off, right? which is the issue that I ran into with the 16 ounce gloves that were 13 ounces and 13.5. Again, I'm glad these are closer to 16 ounces, but they are still not 18 ounces like they're marked here. So if you're going to be buying twins, just be sure that you go up a size if you're really wanting to get sparring gloves, because these again are going to come in wildly varying weights for some reason. I weighed my ring to cage gloves and they were about an ounce off, and that's typically what's seen as acceptable. But for some reason with these twins, again, we're having these quality control type concern. We're just gonna have to make do with these. Again, dissecting the frog smell, kind of weird, probably from the plastic being in transit, but I think Nuna's curious enough about these gloves, and so am I. So let's hit the bag with them. Alright guys, today I just finished with the Twins BGVL3. These are an 18 ounce gloves, that's what they're marked as, but as you can see earlier in the video, they didn't actually weigh that much. So this is more like a 16 ounce glove. So if you're looking for something around that range because you're, a stickler like me, definitely want to look at the 18s. So overall, really great glove. Definitely different than a boxing glove, so if that's what you're used to, it's going to be a little bit different. Namely, this huge collar right here, that's different. It's going to be, again, blocking kicks. When you get kicked with these, it's going to absorb some of the impact here, so that's why. A couple of things I noticed, right? One, the fingers, at least the finger box or whatever, it is pretty tight whenever you first get them. As you can see, I'm wearing hand wraps and they go in just fine now. It does take me a second to get the pinky side edge of my finger all the way in there because it's kind of almost stops it in there. It's really weird, but I'm sure it's just because they just need to be broken in more, whatever. But overall, I'm not getting any weird pain in my hand or anything like that. Again, you should be wrapping your hands if you're gonna be hitting pretty hard. Overall, the glove is holding up pretty well. I'm getting some wrinkling. It's normal. Start hitting and stuff like that. The glove's gonna start compressing. So I did want to point out a couple of things. Right here it says handmade, first quality, twin special, genuine leather. Okay. I was looking for the model number and I came across this. Composition leather. I'm not sure what part you're talking about, but this whole thing is supposed to be leather. So something to keep a lookout for. I paid around $100 for these. They took a little bit of time to get here. Again, they're coming from Thailand, so it's understandable. One of the big things that I had an issue with was actually getting a good closure on the glove, because the way that it's formed, the strap is on the other side, but it doesn't it's weird because if you pull it really hard, you still have a pretty big gap in there. And again, I understand you need to be able to clinch and move your hand a lot more than a typical boxing glove. So what I ended up having to do, and this is normal I guess, you have to basically tuck this one down and pull it over the top and then really cinch it down. Even then it's not as secure as a normal boxing glove would be, so that's something to keep a lookout for. More than anything, it's pretty hot in the glove. There's a couple of holes within the palm that will help a little bit, but more than anything, this is a satin type material on the inside, so it does get pretty warm in there. So you want to get yourself some of those glove deodorizers to soak up the moisture that's going to be building up in there. It's a great glove. Again, the only other Muay Thai glove that I had were some Venoms, and they were like my first gloves, so I really don't think I have a qualified opinion over those, but over these compared to the boxing gloves, they're doing just fine. I'm starting to transition my striking into Muay Thai, so I definitely wanted to get a reputable brand. I didn't really want to get Fairtex. Don't ask me why. I will probably get some in the future, but if I'm gonna go a little bit more niche, I'll probably get like a Top King or something like that, maybe Windy, Boone, stuff that's typically not gonna be found in your normal sports store or anything like that. So they're pretty good gloves. They have a little bit of weird stuff about them. They smell still kind of like dissecting a frog, like experiment type situation. So if you're grossed out about really weird smells, these are probably gonna gross you out. I don't know for how long, because I've had these for like 3 or 4 weeks now, and they still kind of smell like that. So I hope you enjoyed the footage of me in my Thai shorts. Again, I'm transitioning to do Muay Thai, so thanks for watching me be awkward. This is Scott Sessions, the twin Special BGVL3 gloves, and I hope you enjoyed.